So you've uploaded your music, right? You've got your albums there in your platform. The album's live and people can see the music. They're downloading it, they're streaming it. Fantastic. You're getting the data and analytics coming into your account. Now, this is where the magic really starts to happen. I love this place. This is the analytics and finance place, right? Let's talk about analytics because, listen, we're living in the digital age right now. And some people have called this the new gold rush, right? The new industrial revolution, right? Which is not industrial. It's all about digital revolution, right? So everything that you're going to be doing in terms of like whether it's making money, whether it's like developing a business, whether it's, selling your products or selling your music or anything you're doing is going to have to involve the digital world, right? So even if you have to sell your music and your merchandise, which is physical, and you have to meet with people in events, which is physical, oftentimes the way that you're going to transact with people, right? Transaction, communicate with them, trade numbers, exchange money with them, it's going to be online, right? So that means that everything you have to do at some point is going to be located online in the digital world. So what we've done here is we've created a site, right? A platform where all your data and all your information, right? Starting from your music, communication with your audience, right? Your discography, your music videos, your events, and even your subscription, which I'm going to talk about in a second, are all housed under one place, right? One central place, which means that you don't have to jump around and go to this platform, this platform, and that platform just to try and see what's happening with the music. You can do it all in one central place. It's like having essentially your own control center, right? So you can reach out and do everything you want just from one central place. So let's talk about what the analytics look like for starters. Let's just jump into it. First of all, I can see my top supporters here, right? These are people who have paid me any money or bought my music. Top fans. Top fans also people who have downloaded the most of music, the most amount of music from my music. Top donors are people who have also donated the most amount of money to me as well, right? So if I'm a listener and I go to my listener's profile, right, just show you this just for your knowledge. I can go to my account as a listener and I can look at how much donations I've paid. I can look at the top artists. Who are my top artists? Music I've streamed, music I've downloaded. You can also show me how much I've downloaded to certain artists, right? This is something that a listener is going to see. I can see all this information that's here. And if I want to, I can actually download that as a report and it'll open a CSV file, which is an Excel sheet, so that I can now put it in in whatever CRM I'm using. If I want to be more organized, for example, I can put it in a CRM of my choice. Now, but if you don't want to use a CRM, guess what? We've actually built a CRM into the platform here as well. So it makes it really easy for you to work with the platform without needing any extra tools. So check this out. I can download the CSV if I want to get organized and do something with this list later on, or I can work with that list right from my dashboard right here. Here's how I do it. I just simply click here, look at my followers. I can see who's following me, right? And I can simply click that, click the names, and I can click, I want to send an email to this group here. Now, what the platform does really smartly is that it actually reads the information and then it understands that you're trying to send an email to your followers, right? So when you're trying to do that, it says here, thank them for following Tawanda because this is the first interaction. Right? So I want to say thank you. I just don't want to leave them and just ignore them. How cool would it be if every time somebody followed you on Instagram, you sent them a thank you message? There are actually tools that do that. And it's a great way of creating a first touch point with your audience. In business, they say that it takes roughly between 7 to 10 or even 13 touch points with your audience before they can actually transact with you. That means that I must interact with you or your audience must interact with you about 7 times minimum before they feel like they can actually pay you something. That means that you have to create the connection. You have to create a repeat connection with that audience, right? So you're going to thank them for obviously following you, and I'm going to click generate a message. It's going to generate an AI message really quickly for me, and then once it drafts that message, right, it will populate it here. I'll simply scroll down here and click send email. So once I click send email, it does that automatically, and then that email is off and sent to my audience, and then I can just simply send that email quickly. Right? It's literally put those emails in a blind carbon copy, which means that even if I'm not using a CRM, it'll open my email companion of choice, whichever I'm using on the platform, and then it'll just send them an email as a blind carbon copy. So let's do that. So now that it's done that, right, I've just simply sent an email to all my followers saying thank you to them. I can also click on my subscribers, send an email to them as well. I'll go into subscriptions as well. I'll search for my artist name. And if you scroll down, you can see here subscription for a $5 a month. They can choose their plan and choose to subscribe for free concert tickets, for example, merchandise, coffee with tea, meet and greet, vinyls, etc. Obviously, you're not going to be doing a vinyl every month, right? So if somebody subscribed to you $5 a month, it means that at the end of maybe 3 or 6 months or even a year when you produce your album, they've paid you roughly $60 if that's what you want, and maybe that's the price that covers a vinyl. Or If you have a concert ticket, right, for example, that you're selling, and maybe you do a concert maybe once every 2 to 3 months, for example, to those people who are subscribed to you, they're paying you $5 or $10 a month. Your concert ticket might be $10, $20, $50, $100, who knows. Whatever value that you assign to your subscribers, right? Again, your top tier subscribers, you can set up to 3 tiers here in your subscriptions. So whatever value you set up here with the subscriptions, that's the value that you can decide to give to them. You have to do a bit of math and figure things out a little bit, but it's pretty simple and straightforward. Now look at my purchases here. Again, same thing. People have bought the music, downloads, people who have downloaded the music. Again, I can see that it's real time, right? It happens in real time. So let me show you a quick demonstration here of how this works. I want to go here to Tawanda. I'm going to go into one of the tracks, and I'm going to just download this one here. Let's just download this track here. Bang, it's downloaded the track, right? And again, remember what I told you about putting your metadata in the track. So when I start to play it, it shows up with the actual information that's in the track, right? So the album artwork is already there as well when I start to play that track. So I've downloaded that track. If I refresh this real quickly, it shows me one download that has happened on this track. It's real time. I'm going to go back to my artist dashboard now. I'm going to refresh this as well. And you can see here, downloads Tawanda, right? Obviously, I've created my own account. So it's really cool. It's real time. So that means that if I'm running a campaign and I'm marketing my music, maybe I'm doing an ad for something, or I'm promoting on social media, I'm not even doing an ad, I'm doing it organically. And I'm asking my people on Instagram, hey, come and follow my music, come and listen to my music. The link going, and people are going on YouTube, they're finding my track, they're actually going and they're acting and they're downloading it. Guess what? I'm having real-time feedback of what's working and what's not working. So this is super important. Like, I can't tell you how valuable this is, because it means that you don't waste time, effort, and energy spending weeks or months doing something that doesn't actually work, because you can see the results instantly. So at some point, I'm going to go into like Facebook ads, meta ads, and show you how you can spend a very small amount of money. And I say small, I'm talking about literally like $5 to $10 to run a campaign, and that'll get you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of eyeballs onto a campaign. It will tell you really quickly whether what you're doing is effective or not, right? So you'll see the numbers and see, okay, if 1,000 people have seen my ad, how many people are clicking through? You can see those details, the click-through ratio, right? And after you see that click-through ratio, you can actually see like, okay, who's actually gone ahead and done the thing that I asked them to do? Who's followed, who's subscribed, who's downloaded? You can see all that cool stuff there as well. We're going to do that as a matter of like, it's probably going to have to be a long course, because that's quite in-depth with Facebook marketing and Instagram and YouTube as well. We might get other professionals to teach you that as well, because it's quite an in-depth topic, right? But for you, you can just simply look at the platform and look at your data from this point on. And if you think of it this way, followers are at the top of your funnel, which means that when your funnel is this big, right? At the top of the funnel is where most people kind of come in. And as you go down the funnel, right, these people that are going down the funnel here are you people who are acting more. They're doing more things with you. They are more valuable. It means that at the top here, you might get the odd fan who comes in and maybe just is looking around. They're the followers. And then you might people who are going to, download, and then they might like your music, but they don't really want to pay for it. And then you get the subscribers, then you get the purchasers, and then you get the people who are going to donate to you right down there, the funnel, right below, right? Because they're really into your music. So that's how you should think about this. It's a funnel. So the top are the people who are just kind of like looking at your music, looking at you. At the bottom are the people who are really kind of giving you value, and you want to create value for them as well, right? So going back again, let's just look quickly at those subscriptions. I've got my tier set up there. If I want to add another one, I can just add new tier. Tier name, I think I've got one called Super Fans. Let's call this one Mega Fans, right? And we're gonna put this one in at $20 a month. Let's just, for argument's sake, call it $20 a month, right? This is for my Mega Fans. This is for all the fans. I'm gonna say everyone in this one. Meet up with T, meet up with me, everyone in my community. Have a drink and party with us. Let's just say that. Yeah? Party with us. If you're into partying, you can do that as well. So now I'm going to add perks, right? So we're going to say monthly meets, right? Monthly meetups. Add another perk here. Hear my music first, right? That's a good one. What else? What else would people like? Give your feedback. Let's say. let's say collaborative exercises. Yeah, collaborate. I've got some ideas about some stuff here. We can do some collaborative kind of work with people as well. So one of the things that I've done with artists, with fans, is I've allowed some of my fans to, on occasion, uh, create artwork that I'm going to use for my actual album. Again, we are now talking about how you're going to interact with your audience in a way that's super unique, right? Your perks here, guys, are things that you can give to your audience that nobody else gives. Remember, I spoke about, when you talk about the 7 core principles of becoming a successful artist, one of them is marketing, right? And when you look at marketing, think about what you can do for your audience that a mega star can't do. People can't connect with Chris Brown the way that you can connect with your audience, right? So these are the things that you should be able to go a little bit of an extra mile for your audience, for your fans, to actually give them something that's really, really worthwhile, something that's really of value. Collaborative work is something that I would look at and go, how can my audience collaborate and invest in my project, for example? So I'm going to add that as well. Invest in my project, invest in my work, right? But you can think more deeply about this and really try and figure out, like, okay, if I was to do this for my audience, what benefits would I be able to give them? Don't think about features, think about benefits. What benefit is it for them? Monthly meetups, for sure. I'm creating a community, I'm building a community, right? Imagine how cool it would be if I said every Saturday, I'm going to commit to going to, this bar, this restaurant, or this library, or this park, and I'm just going to sit there and everyone wants to meet me. Hey guys, I'm going to bring up my phone, I'm going to go live, and for those that aren't here physically, they're going to see me sit at the park. Guess what's going to happen? In a matter of a few weeks, in a matter of a few like days or weeks even, people are going to be like, you know what? I live in that area. I should just go there and sit down and meet with these people. That's how you build community, right? Hear my music first. Again, private sessions, private listening parties, and all those kind of things. Really cool. Again, make sure you document it so you show people what you're doing. Collaborative work, as I said, artwork and things of that nature. Really cool. Invest in my project. Again, we've talked about Russ before in La Russell. Russ has actually allowed his fans to own a part of his music, right? So I can say, own a part of my music. That's really cool, right? So invest in my project. Own a part of my music. That's really cool and intriguing. What does that mean? It brings people in a different way. So we can do that as well. I'm going to create the tier. Again, you can only do this on the pro plan. And then I've got mega fans there, super fans there, mega fans, $20 a month. And if I go back now to my profile here, to Essential Music, you will see that subscription tier created there for mega fans. I can create up to 3, right? So the reason why we say 3, don't create more than 3, because it creates too much confusion. And I don't think you can do more than 3 because, honestly speaking, you're going to struggle to maintain them, right? So keep it to 3 maximum. And if I'm in this group, by the way, I can also look at everyone that's kind of here. And, once people start subscribing, I'm also going to start seeing their name, their email, which country they're at, which plan they're on, so you can actually see more details about them, and then see what subscription date they had. You can also ban people, by the way, so that's something I forgot here. So if I go back to my analytics here, I can also ban certain people from interacting with my music, or rather interacting with me. So if I'm sending a group email, for example, and I don't want to send it to, to Esther, for example, I can ban her so that email doesn't go to Esther. It goes to everyone else. That's a key thing that we've done for your control, so you maintain control there as well. Right? Again, I'm going to look at donations. We've again created a separate area for donations. You can look at that here if you want. And now we're going to go into the fun part, which is like another fun part, royalties and splits, where you can collect royalties and splits. Now, for royalties, here's how it works. When you uploaded your music in the first time, right, from the beginning, you saw that, let me go on albums, there's an 80% split here, right? If I go to manage, right, for example, it says here your remaining split is 80%. Now, that's because 7th Century Music takes 20%, right? So we give you 80%, we take 20%, that's how we make our revenue. Now, we only make money if you make money. That's why we take more from this revenue that you actually make, as opposed to charging you more for a subscription. Hence why the platform is relatively cheap to use as a subscription, but we make more money the more money that you make as an artist. So we are really invested in helping you to generate more income, because the more income you generate, guess what happens? We also make money. So we're really invested in helping you to make money. Now, if you wanted to add collaborators, say your friends and your co-writers, or your manager, or you got someone who you're working with as a label, you can also add that there. So if I want to say I want to add another artist, right? The moment they're on the platform, if they're not on the platform already, make sure that they're on the platform. I can now basically search their name there, find them, and go, okay, I want to add D as a collaborator, and I'm going to give him 20% because he did some good work on this song, and I'm going to add that split. And then you see that it shows up there, and then I can save those changes. D will be then informed in his dashboard, and he'll also get an email that I've allocated a split to him. Remember, this person must be on the platform, right? That's a key thing. So make sure that they sign up, they are on the platform, and then they can see what percentage split that they're going to get as well. I don't think any other platform does this easily, by the way. It's super duper easy. So that when they want to collect their payouts, they can do that quite simply by just going in their dashboard and withdrawing it. You now don't have to send money to them. You don't have to kind of go, hey, my bandmates, I've collected all the money and nobody else knows what's going on. You all know what's going on, right? Because you can all see what's happening with the sales, with the data, and you can each withdraw your money as and when you please. It creates a very simple. You can work collaboratively with all your collaborators and artists, right? Now, if I want to add, say, for example, a manager as well, I can do that. The manager must also register. We have a simple different managers dashboard. And if you have an affiliate, which is like your record label, we give them 5%. That 5% comes from us, which means that now instead of taking 20%, we take 15%. So if you have a label, you can allocate to them a special 5% as well. Or if you have an agreement with them, you can select a special amount to give them a different amount if you want to do that as well. And that affiliate can get that money as well. Now quickly, if you want to edit the details to your album, you can also edit the details to your album, move tracks up, move tracks down, add tracks, change the description, change the album cover, etc., and change those details there, right? But this was more for royalty splits. You can just have a look at them here. That's how you manage royalty splits on 7th Music, creating more transparency for everyone and making it easy for you to manage everything without having to argue with anyone. Super cool, super important, right? Now, let's go into the last part. You've done everything, your music's done great, you've uploaded your music, and you've got subscriptions and everything's going well, and you know what, it's time for me now to get paid. Here's where it gets interesting, right? Because here's what we've done. We've created a very easy way to pay you anywhere in the world, internationally, right? So what we've asked you to do, right? What we're going to ask you to do is when you first sign up here, your dashboard is not going to look like this, so apologies. You're going to have a link to say sign up for a Wise account, right? Now, here's Wise. Here's the platform that we use, Wise. It's a fantastic platform that basically you can set up from anywhere in the world. You create a Wise account and you can create any mobile wallet that you want. So you basically choose what currency you want to use from your Wise wallet. You sign up, you sign in. It only takes you a couple of minutes to sign up for a Wise platform account. And the second thing you must do, right? You must do this is you must actually link that Wise account with your 7th Music account. So it's very simple. All you need is an email. So once you've set up your email on Wise account, right, you put your Wise account email there or your Wise account ID. If you want to be safe, you can put both of them. But all we really need is your Wise account email. So just make sure that this Wise account email also matches the name that you signed up with, right? So if you remember again, if you went on your profile, you've got your legal name and you've got your artist name, right? I've got my artist name, which is Tawanda, but I've got my legal name, which we can also check in the background and say, okay, this is the right person. And make sure that the email that you used here on 7th Music is the same email that you also use on Wise. It's so important to do that because it makes verification very simple for us, right? So try and make sure that those things are the same, as similar as possible, so that at least when we're trying to follow you and find out and verify the transaction, we can actually verify that transaction with you. If we can't verify the transaction, then what will happen is our admin may contact you and say, hey, we can't approve this because there's something that's not matching. We would rather delay the payment than pay the wrong person or just not pay you at all, right? So we would make sure you keep those things, that the email addresses and everything else are correct. You can see here, please correct email address. Those are things that we could maybe send to you and say, you might fail that transaction and then you have to try it again, right? So by the time you watch this, right, I think we'll have there's a minimum threshold which you can withdraw. And once you've done that, set up your Wise account. There's going to be instructions on the link that you're going to see as well that are going to take you to our community and also show you how you set up your Wise account. If you have problems doing that, just chat to us in our Discord group, right, where the team will meet you and where you can chat to all our team members. Make sure you sign up for the Discord channel. This is where you can really communicate with us very easily. We're there every day, 24/7, basically. And make sure you sign up there, so if you have any problems with signing up for a Wise account or doing any cash, make sure you ping us there, and then we can help you out immediately. So once you've done that, you can now request a withdrawal there, and I've only got 50 pence here, so I'm not going to withdraw that much. This is below the threshold actually. And request payout, right? Payout request submitted there. I just refreshed that there, and then we'll see that amount coming out, and then it's deducted that amount there from my money, right? So I can't get paid off 50p because 50p is too little. Obviously, it won't cover my transaction fees, right? So the admin will probably decline that because it's too low. So wait until you've accumulated a bit of money to do that, because you don't want to lose that money as well on that part there. So we're going to talk more about how to set up your Wise account on a more separate video, because that has to be dedicated on a separate video. But for now, you've simply set up all your accounts, you're ready to get paid, and you're good to go. So what are you waiting for? Start uploading your music today at 7th Century Music. I look forward to seeing you guys there. I look forward to hearing your music and helping you guys to market and monetize your music in the best way forward. All right, I'll see you soon. Take care. Love you as always. Goodbye.